Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. Yes, it says image. You can see image. What this is Savage Dragon Archives Volume 1 and Volume 2 by Eric Larson. What these are, I'm going to go a little on history of Dragon. Because I do have two other that I know of Dragon trades. I have the trade that reprints the miniseries, plus the added pages, plus like Image Zero and Operation Urban Storm and all that other bullshit in there. Then I have the trade that's the first of after these two trades here in the Dragon Monthly series. He went to like an alternate world. It was like the Savage Earth or something like this. I have the trade that's the first storyline from that, and both those were gotten from like comic shops going out of business, cheap trade sales. These two were gotten for, excuse me, on my mother's Christmas presents 2 years in a row. I don't know why. She remembers. She like all my family. They all know. I know I love comics. But most of them have no idea which ones are recent. You see all Batman, Superman, all the characters they heard of. The only person that really seems to really understand that I don't read the comics you think of when you hear comics is my uncle, who I constantly love comics too anyway. That's why I found both of these. I found one of those reusable like grocery bags, the canvas bags, sitting underneath the table. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm peeling a bunch of books, and there's a bunch of big trays like this I loaned to my uncle. Well, Savage Dragon, when the Image stuff started in the early '90s. I was excited as fuck for Spawn. And then I read the first issue and go, oh, it's Faust. Like a toned down version of Faust. Fuck this. And did read it all the way up to 21, 22, 23, somewhere around there. I was excited for Youngblood. And that I read like the miniseries in issue 0. It was 4 issues of that in issue 0 and gave up on that. Didn't give a fuck about Cyberforce. It was X-Men. I haven't given a shit about the X-Men forever. Didn't give a fuck about Shadowhawk. I'm like, I don't care. Really did not care. But Savage Dragon, just that front cover of the issue, which is this right here, the miniseries, caught my eye. So I bought it. I'm like, oh, it's going to be like their version of the Hulk. The only thing I knew Eric Larson from at the time that really stood out in my mind is I'd read some of his Doom Patrol run. Read that first issue, I'm like, holy shit, this is really good. You could tell there was a history there. Kind of like what Spawn had and Youngblood had, whereas most of the other Image stuff didn't. You can tell these characters have been in these creators' heads for years. Eric Larson, he'd been making comics out of it for years. Savage Dragon miniseries issue 1 is not the first appearance of Savage Dragon in comics. That's like Graphic Fantasy number 1 or some shit like this. He appeared a few times before then. Well, I got hooked. I read the miniseries. I read a couple of the one-shots, all that shit. Started the monthly series and read it all the way up to a little bit past issue 50. 50 was a turning point. And the whole plot line was this character here, Savage Dragon, or just called Dragon, wakes up and like there's this big burn on this empty light, wakes up in the middle of it. No memory of like anything about himself, but he can speak like 18 different languages and remembers a lot of like news stuff that have been in the news from a certain time frame. Super strong, can't breathe fire, of course. Kind of not invulnerable, but kind of tough. Ends up getting recruited to become a cop to lead up the Chicago Police Department because they're called people they're called freaks to fight them because there's a lot of criminals like that. And this is the first 20 something issues. Let me see here. Okay. Chicago, criminal mastermind called Overlord, held the city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops would lose him out against Overlord and super freaks. Then a miracle happened. When he was found, he had no memory of his past. Lieutenant Frank Darlin helped him find identity in life. Now they have a fighting chance. Now they have the dragon. Collecting Savage Dragon's epic battle with Overlord from the initial 3-issue Savage Dragon miniseries to the ongoing Savage Dragon series 1 through 21 and featuring all the extra story pages from the various Savage Dragon trade paperbacks. Larson does that. I think he tries to keep all the trades in stock, all that shit. Great story. There's all the covers. So that's what? 24 issues. Good old thick trade. Now, this thing was not expensive either. It was $20. This was Image's version of like the mass Essentials from Marvel Showcase Presents from DC. And it is black and white reprints. Came out in 2006 of, Savage Dragon. Sometimes the black and white hurts, sometimes it doesn't. And like I said, this is the first. There's been fighting Bad Rock, Super Patriot, Rapture. And Savage Dragon was, it felt like, to me, Savage Dragon was kind of like, Larson has it in the Image universe, but I don't really think it's disconnected anymore. And I just love the hell out of it. So when I saw it, I'm like, well, fuck, I had all those issues. But at the time, a lot of my comics were 2 states over, and I didn't know what was going on when I get a chance to go out there, so I got this. And $20 for 24 issues, that's a cheap deal. And you see, on some of this, like, it's hard. It looks very manga style with all the lines and shit. Look at that. Dragon. I love me some Savage Dragon. I mean, the cartoon, the comic, the few figures we've had. And then, what issue does it end with? Oh, okay. It ends with him defeating Overlord in issue 21. All right, so that's that first one. Then, the next year, and that's what I'll say, my family and comics. My mother somehow remembers that I like Spawn, Sandman, Preacher, and Savage Dragon. Or her mind, that's the 4 comics that aren't characters she's heard of that she knows I love. And Walking Dead now, because of the show, which she actually watched the show longer than I did. I gave up before she did. This is volume 2. Now, this has Overlord is dead to begin with, and the villain's room that dwelled in the Windy City Vibe City takes place at the head of Chicago's notorious criminal organization, the Vicious Circle. Will follow Wasn't Pretty. Collect the issues 22 through 50 of Savage Dragon, guest star in Hellboy, Spawn, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and God. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30 issues in this one for $20. Wait a minute, was it not 50 when he did? Okay, I guess. Okay. And it's the same thing. Jesus, oh man, really? Crap. This hasn't been open in a while. It's the only drawback. I gotta put some glue in that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna finish this video up real quick, but just more issues. And Dragon ends up becoming a cop. But my mother, like I said, while I was going through this, my mother remembered I like Dragon and got me both of these. And also, I was like, hell yeah, I got to read a pile of Dragon at once. And he ends up becoming, he's a cop, and ends up becoming the head of the, some government team of superheroes, which didn't last long because he gets sent to another planet. It takes us forever to get back, and like, She-Dragon takes over with the cops. All kinds of crazy shit happens. And then we get like their little profiles, all the characters. There's some great ones here. Bendover, Harold Balsack, Bull McCarthy. I gotta fix that. That is horrible. Yeah, that's real bad. Jesus. Alright. I just wanted to talk about Dragon a little bit. And there's, about 55 issues if you include all the extras and shit of Dragon for, I don't even know if these are still in print. I think they are. I know there's like 4 or 5 of these. He does one. Enough issues are, and Dragon is getting closer, has hit 300 issues. And it's always been Larson besides issue 13, I think it's 12 or 13 of the original, of the ongoing series. They did an Image X crossover where like Jim Lee ended up drawing and writing it, and Larson hates it and retconned it. But hope y'all enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all of the bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.